Hello there. Welcome to Metrosix. It's the capital of Delaire. But more importantly for our story, it's a dangerous place. Each of the king's successors in the last 14 years have died trying to sit on that blasted adamantine throne. It's not just dangerous for the high lords and ladies, though. Without a strong leader, the presence of the city's watch is barely felt and rarely respected. A few areas have found some semblance of stability under a powerful high lord or lady. But there's nothing like that for the Styx. Metrosix, 6th District.
Welcome back to Toss the Dice. We're here with our cast and ready to play another game of D&D. When last we left off, they were discussing a plan with the leader of the thieves to raid a large number of vehicles from the Red Gear hideout. Now, that meeting has since adjourned, and you now have a little bit of downtime to prepare for this mission. Is there anything that you need to do before we get started?
I don't know the plan, but I'm just gonna wing it with you guys. So
It's good. That puts you right in character, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Well, probably. Listen, just tell me where to go and who to hit, and I'll be good. I don't need to worry about it otherwise.
Now, my first question is, you guys are going to be performing this mission under the guise of the Spectres, correct?
Yes.
So, go ahead and let's start off by, as you, well, no, actually, if there's anything you want to do during the week, let's resolve that first, and then I'll go into that.
Wait, really quick. So, we're going in as the Spectres, but only for the heist, but when we're pretending to be the Blackmarket bosses, like, people, we'll have our normal faces, right?
No. No, because, if you were to do that, then you would potentially be, well, a known entity, and getting the heir of the leader of the Black Market, Devere Black.
Well, the problem is that either way, like we'll have eyewitnesses from the Red Gears of what our masks look like.
And that's good. You want infamy for the Spectres, but not for your normal selves, because in theory, no one will know where to find the Spectres.
Okay, but in that case, then the leader of the Red Gears will see us and be like, hey, that sounds a lot like the masked people with the guy.
This is your debut. You guys have not done anything as the Spectres, so they're an unknown entity as of now.
Okay.
So, yeah, is there anything you need to prep during the week?
I do want to make sure that everyone's on the same page with the plan.
Okay, then let's do that, and then we'll jump right to the mission.
Okay, so, I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but I want to specify that, like, about how we're going to try and do this. We're going to try and distract them by posing as... Can I get the name of the Black Market person again?
Devere Black.
Devere Black. So we're going to be posing as Devere Black. In the meantime, we are also going to be going to start a fire. We're going to start a fire up in the junk office, in the junkyard. That is what we're going to set ablaze using Paul's grease, and Elise is going to start a fire. Then we're going to rush to the vehicle and head people. We're going to cut them off at the garage and hold off while the thieves steal what they got to steal.
So with that in mind,
Real
then,
quick, actually, I was looking at it, and there's nothing in the grease spell that actually says it's flammable. And so, intuitively, I would think that the intent behind the spell is that it's just a slippery surface and not actual like
Grease.
bacon grease or or oil spill or something like that. So and usually with spells, it's better to play it by what it says is what it does, no extra effects. That said, the building is mostly wood. You probably don't need it. So this isn't shutting the plan down by any means. In fact, it's kind of save you a spell slot. You shouldn't need it to light the place on fire.
All right.
I just need like a flask and a dry spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Piper can handle that single-handedly while we still have Paul to display to the red gears.
Right. So with that in mind, then I'm guessing my role would be to be the one that makes the deal with Ptolemy. Is that correct? Like pretend to make the deal while everybody else, like Piper and
She
Elektra,
would
are going to
be
be the bouncers.
She would be dealing with Devere Black, and if I'm not mistaken, Aurelius will be portraying Devere Black. Correct?
Unless Piper's down to do it, in which case I can start the fire.
I think Piper is a little intimidated by that just because she can play kind of like unknown random people or characters like the drunken fool. But I think trying to play this like intimidating person that is very much supposed to be I don't know, who's supposed to have that air of I don't know, that kind of intimidation, and it's like, oh, you're wasting my time, like that kind of like that persona. I think she's more used to playing goofy or more caricatures. That's a very serious person, and this is a very serious, risky situation. And I think she doesn't want to possibly mess it up, even though she could do the voice and do the disguise. That can only take her so far. Playing the part is what's really going to sell it ultimately. And she's not as confident on that.
Fair enough. Okay. So then you will be I wanted to make one thing clear. No matter who is playing Devere Black, you will all have to sneak in under that guise in order to not separate the party. Otherwise, Piper would be sneaking in all by herself, and if she gets caught, she'd be all alone. So
she is going to be the bouncer. She's going to be the person who is going to check the opposing party for bringing weapons to the meeting.
Okay.
I'm the pat down person.
Yeah, and both Haven and Elektra are going to be the they're going to help me make the deal.
Okay.
Intimidation factor.
Real quick, this doesn't really have much to do with the plan in particular, but I'm curious for Elektra's sake. You have an item that you tend to carry with you. Are you going to leave that behind for this?
The sword?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because if Piper's gonna take your weapon away, I'm not sure how comfortable you'd be with that.
Yeah, I would not be comfortable with that.
Sword.
Well, if weapons are being checked at the door for the meeting, her sword would have to be taken.
Yeah, I'd rather leave it at home. I mostly will be using my fists anyway. The sword's like a backup, so.
Sounds good. All right, then. Right, so onward and upward then. Now that everyone is up to speed on the plan, let's go ahead and move forward. As you all don your disguises, are you going to bring your typical disguise with you for Aurelius? Or are you just going to go as Devere Black and play the whole night as him? regardless of situation?
That's a really good question. I didn't think about it. It could have implications if I do.
I mean, you
Can I
can just slap the
suggest-
mask on. That might be
I was
easier.
gonna say, I think it might be cool if you can like turn back, slide the mask over your face.
I'm
Move
with
into
it.
the shadow.
I'm very much with it. Let's do it. I'm bringing
Okay.
the mask.
Yeah.
Easiest way to kind of seal that and make it less, of an
Yeah.
issue.
Then let's go ahead and move right on to it. As you prep for the night when the heist is taking place, you meet briefly with the leader of the thieves, Bastion Black. He checks in with you and he says, "Everything ready?"
Bastion Black.
Yes.
Are
He's-
they brother?
Are they brothers? They have the same last name.
When you spoke, you didn't ask him, but when you spoke to him and he talked about Devere, he seemed to have intimate knowledge of Devere, even when it came to like how to play his mannerisms and things like that.
Oh, how did we
Oh.
miss that last time?
Yeah.
It seemed clear to me that he like knew the dude, but wow, same last name and everything. A bunch
Yes.
of dunces in this party.
Mm.
Hmm.
I'll actually also say, as you, because you had to actually craft a mask to look like his face, they do look strikingly similar as well.
Oh crap! Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
boy. Alrighty. Okie dokie.
What if? Oh, right. Never mind. Because that already answered my question. I'm not
So
gonna do it
so after sharing the plan, I want to share the plan with him so he knows what we're doing.
He nods and he says, "Not quite what I expected, but I think it'll work. I think it'll work just fine. But
Perfect.
just know that my stance on this is unchanged. I won't
Yeah.
risk any of my men. So if you blunder this on your end, something goes wrong, I'm not going in after you. I just
All right,
wanted to make
sounds
that
good.
clear. Okay.
It's very clear. Let's
And
let's
the one
do
last time then before you separate, he shakes your hand and says, "I hope it doesn't go wrong though." And
this. So
he
do I.
skulks off into the shadows. And
For some reason, I have the image of him scurrying into the shadows.
shakes your hand man to man and then just like hops on all fours.
Yeah, like crab walks.
I'm personally
Just
picturing
slithers away.
Swamp in Emperor's New Groove where he goes, "Duh." He's up against the wall.
Is he singing his own theme song? Yeah.
Basically exactly what happened. So he disappears into the night. It's warm outside as you gather to head over to the junkyard. It's warm out, and the moon is full. And illuminated by moonlight, you can see each other in your newly donned disguises. What does everybody look like?
I guess I'll start. So
Please do.
Piper has she kind of for this I don't think she was like thinking about like the specters like long term. I think she's like, "Ah, yes, intimidating bouncer. Let's make this super spooky. We want to definitely I want to look mean." And so her mask is I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. It's almost like alien-esque. Kind of angular. It has 4 kind of slit eyes, and they're like red. And I think she might use it's a cantrip, right?
Minor illusion is a cantrip.
Yeah, so she'll use minor illusion to make the eyes glow. Like a
Only
glow
1
red.
minute at a time, though.
Oh, she'll probably just do that for the minute she's patting him down. Then looks spooky. But it doesn't have a mouth or anything on it, and so it's just like these like strange angular shapes kind of going upwards, almost like with like dragon-like looking spikes on the side of the head, up by the cheekbones, and on the tops where her horns are.
Okay.
They kind of hide her horns because her horns kind of go back a little bit. So like the shape of the spikes on the top, on the sides of her head, are kind of covering the horns a little bit. And there's the slightly smaller ones on the side by her cheekbones, and then the four slitted eyes kind of angling upwards.
And you said the mask is black?
It's like shades of like blacks and grays, for like
Okay.
different highlights and contours, and then she might have like some like red line work, some of the sharper edges.
And do you just wear your normal clothes with it? Or, like whatever you've got on hand? Or is there a specific outfit that goes with it?
I think she probably wears kind of like you know, like those hooded cloaks that are kind of cropped.
Mhm.
Like kind of cropped at like kind of like at the chest.
Yep.
She's probably got like a tattered hooded cloak. Like a little hood that she kind of pulls up just to hide her horns, because her horns are a little more noticeable.
Yeah.
So she probably does that and wears gloves, probably just to kind of help to hide her skin tone a little bit.
Oh yeah, you would have to cover up your horns, because that would be a dead giveaway for you.
Yeah,
Tiefling are
so-
not common in this world, so.
Yeah, so she
Wait, do you have a tail as well?
she does, but she can just tuck it.
Okay.
Down the pant leg.
Yeah, you better wear.
Oh no!
Hopefully, you wear some baggy skirts to hide that.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, because people are gonna look at you and be like
a pirate sash sort of thing.
Otherwise,
Kind of
yeah, I was gonna say, if you just tuck it in your pants, it'll probably look like you've got a diaper.
Yeah, no, that's not intimidating.
or
at
something
all.
funky on your leg.
Diaper.
There's a snake in your pants.
Yeah, I guess is it the thick tail, or is it the thin one?
Cancel.
It's just like the pencil thin classic devil tail. Okay.
Mhm.
Roger that.
Nice.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I
You know
will.
what? Okay, go.
Start
Go.
with your well, actually, shall I just describe how Dever looks, and then later when you change into your mask, you'll describe it?
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Okay. So dressed as Dever, you wear formal clothing. It's formal but not frilly. Like occasionally, lords will wear like lace in their sleeve and such. This doesn't have any of the frills, but it looks like what you're wearing is very formal, high class, like upper rank business. On the other hand, he looks a lot like Bastion, as I said before. He has angular features, and he has shaggy black hair that's slicked back. But he doesn't have Bastion's scar. So his clothing is mostly black. However, the cuffs of his sleeve are red. And then I think we can move on to well, who's next?
I'll go.
Okay.
So Elektra is an alloyed, which was heavily inspired by Colossus from the X-Men. But instead of being silver and a big chunky Russian man, she is gold. And so she looks fairly similar, but instead of hazel eyes and all that, her eyes have turned gold. And her hair, instead of being kind of curly, crazy, out of control, is kind of slicked back down the back. And she's wearing the same clothes. She just wears a kind of casual.
They just pop right off her, that's all.
No. No. See, I wanted to pay some homage to the classic 80s superhero costumes without breaking the theme of the world. And so I imagine she's kind of got like those like capri pants that like cinch at the like calves. And so she just and like a loose shirt, but when she transforms to show off that good, metal skin she's got all over the place, she's rare. She wants to show it off. She definitely undoes a couple buttons, so she's got that classic deep V that all those superheroes got, especially Colossus. He's got one of those. So that's kind of the look. She's just got casual rolled up work shirt, the deep V in the front, and some work pants, and she's all gold and shiny.
All right. And then lastly, we've got Haven.
Yeah. So Haven, actually, he crafted his own mask. Kind of did like a metal mask with it's a lot similar to how like the Egyptian jackal looks. And so he kind of made that his mask, and it's inspired by one of his favorite animals. So he crafted after that manner, put it over his face. He's wearing like kind of like his it sounds weird to say this, but his like night clothes. When he goes out at night, like he usually wears kind of like a fitted cloak with a hood, kind of hide his face. And he has the hood on with the mask, and like the only thing that really like that anybody could really see would just be like just the mouth, essentially.
Okay.
Really quick, as we're walking down, is it an alleyway?
Actually, well, you can be off in an alleyway, but you'll definitely there's a very large main street that leads to the junkyard.
Okay.
So, what were you thinking?
Actually, I was planning on walking down the street, and when all of us are walking down, when we have like all of our stuff on, I ask to the rest of the group, so are we going to go in as our regular names, or obviously we have Duvet Black, but what about all of us? We're supposed to hide our identities, right? So
Code
what do we
names.
call each other? Also,
I can't believe we didn't think about this earlier.
I know. The first thing that came to mind for Aaron was Gungale from the freaking arc from Sword Art Online.
Not bad. I'll take it. Whatever. It is what it is. And honestly,
It is
because
what it is.
it came to mind, we should call you Colossus.
It almost sounds like my actual real life name, Alyssa. Colossa.
Oh. That's super cool.
But I would go with Colossus. Colossa is maybe a little much. Just a little over the top.
No. It's just that perfect cheesiness that just takes it right there. It's beautiful.
You got me.
So Colossa.
Okay. Then Haven and Piper. Colossa, Gungale.
It's funny that we talk about this because we actually came up with ours beforehand, but
of course you did.
Yeah, mine is just Jackal. It's literally just Jackal.
Okay.
And then Piper.
Okay.
Nyx, all right.
Man, y'all put thought into this.
I know, we're about to go in as Colossa and Gungale.
Jackal and Nyx and Gungale and Colossa.
Oh, it's not so bad. Okay.
I know it's not so bad. It's just different vibes. It's like me and Aaron came straight out of a comic book, and they came out of like a gritty, edgy comic book.
We got on over here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as you exit the alleyway and begin to walk up the large street, there are 4 red gears who are posted at the front, and then just behind them in like a makeshift tiny, honestly only like 1 story tall watchtower stands a spring who is overseeing the front gate. And as you walk up, I know this meeting has been arranged beforehand, but here at the front gate, they say, "Oi, who are you?" And they pull out these strange weapons that when they have like a makeshift handle on it, but when they pull it out, it begins to whirl and buzz.
Okay.
Elektra kind of mutters at Aurelius and goes, "This is all on you, man. It's up to you."
Yeah. Would they? I'm just asking this for my own knowledge. Would they know me by looking at me with the disguise?
No, a very few select people would actually recognize Devere Black.
Okay.
He's very elusive.
I actually say, you dare to brandish weapons in front of Devere Black? I'm here to meet with Ptolemy.
The cogs look at you skeptically, but the spring over them takes a look at you, pulls out something, and looks at it, and pockets it again. His hand was blocking what it was, so you're not sure exactly what it was that he pulled out. But he calls down to the guards. He says, "They're good. Let them pass." And they look confused, but they step aside, and you're able to walk into what is you're looking at this from moonlight, but it looks like just mounds of trash that they've kind of made like pathways through. So it almost feels like walkways, and then just mountains of scrap in several directions. It doesn't smell very good, but it's not the worst thing. It's strong, but it doesn't smell like it's food waste. It seems like it's mostly metals and fabrics and things like that. And as you walk, there's actually a member who meets you, and he looks like he's much higher rank. Just this is the first time you've seen it, but he's got this patch that he wears, and it has wings that flare out on either side. And the way that everyone reacts to him, it seems like he's pretty high up. And he says, "If you follow me, it'll be right this way." And
I simply gesture to him and say, "Lead the way."
He's walking you to the right side from where you entered. It would be on your right, the tower, maybe due east. And as he walks you towards the junk house, the area that you figured that they would have you meet Ptolemy in, it seems you were correct. And as he walks you that way, he says, "Just 3, my lord?"
That's all I need.
He looks you over and he says, and looking at Elektra in particular, he says, "Oh, I can see that. Well, in any case, we ain't gonna try anything like that, so it doesn't much matter either way, I guess. But well, anyway, right this way." And as you arrive at the junk house, he opens the door, and the person who was standing guard just immediately steps down, seeing him walk up, and he opens the door to what looks like a very shabby shack that has been converted into a stronghold. So it's got like bars that can slam shut over the door to reinforce it. And it stacks 3 stories high, and it kind of looks like they literally took a small shack and put it on top of the shack. And actually, as he takes you to the stairs, it actually kind of looks, as you walk your way up through the stairs to the second story, it looks like they did actually cut right through the shingles of a roof. And so you go into the next floor, and it's separated into 2 rooms with 1 large doorway. And in the second room, he takes you over there, and there is another of the same rank that stands there in front of the door, and you can see a woman inside. And she's leaning back in her chair with her feet up on the wooden table that's in the room. The room is mostly bare, but there is 1 window on the far side that overlooks the junkyard. And there are several chairs in there. She has papers. You can't see what's on them, but she has a few papers on the table. It's by no means cluttered, though. Like, literally, there's like 5 papers or so. And as you walk up, she quickly takes her feet off the table, and the chair slams down on the the ground from its propped up position. And she stands up. And she says, "It's good to see you again." And she reaches out for your hand.
You are muted.
Okay, sorry. I do not reach my hand. I do not reach my hand out to give her a handshake. My hands stay crossed in front of me as I say, "Nix," and I point for her to go check them for weapons.
Nix doesn't say anything, and she approaches her slowly and gestures her to hold out her arms.
As she rolls her eyes, but she does it, and she says, "I guess this means my boys get to check you too, though, yeah?" So at the same time, she nods, and the guy who walked you here walks right over to you, Elektra, and is like, do the same thing. Let me see it.
She does it, but she looks straight at him. She's like, "Does it really look like there's anything in my pockets, man?" But she lets him do it. She's just like, she's gonna rib him while she does it.
He begins to he initially like pats you down, and then like you can feel as he backs off, and he doesn't pat you down so hard anymore. Mm-hmm. And by the time he's done, it looks like his palms are maybe a little red.
Heck yeah.
And then he goes to Haven. Is there anything on your person that he would find?
No. Other than a little hammer and an adamantine shard, that's it.
Okay, and the adamantine shard is magical, so it wouldn't just be in your pocket. It would literally like hover over you like a suit of armor.
No, like a small, like it's like a spell
little,
focus.
like it's a.
Oh, you have an actual shard. Okay.
Yeah, like an actual shard of adamantine and a hammer.
Okay, I thought you were referring to your shards. Okay, so he takes the hammer and goes, "We'll just leave this at the door, yeah."
I basically just don't say anything, and I just gesture to him, just move on with it.
So he takes it and he leaves it at the door, and I guess we'll move on to as you pat down Ptolemy, you pull out 3 lead pipes. You also pull out a jagged piece of metal that was in her boot, and you also
in her boot or in her boob?
in her boot.
Okay, I was like, what the heck, bro?
The footwear. The footwear.
Hey, yo.
She had it
Uncomfortable.
surgically implanted.
It was just sticking out. Yeah, on the
Yeah,
side.
it's just there.
Why is it
She-
pokey?
She's been meaning to get medical attention for hours.
It's like the scene in Hot Rod where he hops on the belt grinder and it like the shard gets embedded in his forehead.
Yeah,
She's just got one of those and she's just like, "Oh, hey man."
yeah. Oh, hey, man. Yeah.
I'm
Haven's
so
like,
high
I'll
right
use
now.
that.
Yeah, you find a shard. She also has a single shot pistol on her. You also remove a what looks like a makeshift like tear gas grenade. And she also has a vial of poison and a wrench and a screwdriver and a dagger and a short sword, and she also has a
Apt.
she also has a stick of dynamite and a yes, she has a it looks like a wand, but it's pretty blank. You're not sure what it does. And then lastly, the last thing you end up finding on her, well, actually, no. Go ahead and make a, I'm thinking sleight of hand check for me. I would also take investigation.
So wait, so investigation, so 2 rolls?
No, it's just one or
No.
the other, whichever is
Either
better for you.
modifier.
That's a 24, baby.
Okay.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I was so convinced you were about to say that was a 3.
Nah, I wouldn't be doing the lip bite for that. I'd be like, oh.
So,
Poor audience can't see you.
The shrivel.
there is hidden blades in both of her boots, like where she kicks the heel and they pop out so that she can kick knife.
As she sees all of this stuff, and then she finally, like, she's like looking at all the stuff, and she's just like, and then she gets to the booth, and she's like, she doesn't say it, but she just like tisks at her and shakes her head a little bit.
And as you gesture for her to take off the boots, she's like, "Oh, come on, at least let me keep the boots."
Yeah, at this point, I wave my hand and be like, the boots can stay. And he actually opens up a little bit and is like, it's good to see you two. Professional. I had to cover my bases.
Nix is waiting at the door.
Yeah, I actually say, Nix, you are dismissed.
Okay, because if Nix is waiting at the door, then she doesn't need to surrender her weapons. And then the red gear goes to check you, Aurelius.
Mm-hmm.
You have your mask on you, so just be.
Yeah, no. So when the mask is found, be like, So I actually take the mask out from my jacket, and I hand it, and that is everything I have on my person, save it be a stiletto knife or something, a comparable, a dagger.
Wait, you don't have a pistol?
No, not.
No, we probably stashed it somewhere back, and where he could like.
Oh, I stashed it.
Prison
by the way,
pocket.
Yeah, yes, I keistered it. No, I was actually gonna say flashback. I put all my stuff in Piper's bag of holding.
Okay.
except for this mask and this dagger. So I
Okay.
just hand them over and be like, I can't be obviously just walking around in broad daylight. The mask helps me to conduct my business at night.
Okay. Well, since you whipped it out then, what does the mask look like?
It is cobbled together. It is just it's a skull. It's a skull mask that is cobbled together with different parts of metal. It's fairly, like, the shape is definitely a skull, but you can tell that it is made of different pieces of material. However, each of the metals is reflective.
Okay. And so he takes it and they take it outside, and he the one of the men who is with you, you pat him down. He has a pistol, and because he's going into the meeting. So one of the men has a pistol and not much else. And having disarmed him, he goes into the meeting, and the other one says, "Shall we?" And he walks you back down to the front door. Nix. Or Piper. So he's not giving you much option but to follow him. He's pretty adamant on it.
Remind me, what's on the table?
Just a couple pieces of paper.
No, like so as I'm walking out, like, so where did everybody put their stuff?
Oh, you guys are taking it down with you. So he still has he has anything that they took off you: the hammer, the small knife, and mask. And you have everything you took off of
You got a
Ptolemy.
whole armful.
Yeah, so you've got like a stack of stuff like that you're carrying in two arms, and he's got like something in each hand.
Okay, so remind me, according to the plan, does do I need to try and swipe the mask, or does Aurelius pretty confident that he could get it himself?
It's kind of too late to ask that.
Okay.
So, getting right into it, Ptolemy says, "I must say, you have been dodging me for a while. I'm surprised you agreed to meet me."
Well, you have been making quite the ruckus. Can you tell me more about your intentions at that peace rally?
What peace rally?
The one over by Big Al's. I heard you had a run-in with the heavy brass.
Big house. Never heard of the place. Running with the heavy brass. Oh, yeah. They sure did a number on us, I would say. So our intentions with that were to stick it to them heavy brass.
That simple-minded, no ulterior motives?
You call me simple-minded?
No, simply the response.
She like kind of stiffens, sits up, and points out the window, and she gestures to the junkyard with a lot of bravado, and says, "You think someone who's simple could have built this?"
Wow, okay. I actually do chuckle. As Devere.
Okay.
I do chuckle. And say, no. Yeah. Look, as someone who's built an empire, it's a great start.
Go ahead and real quick make a deception check for me.
Can I somehow
or
assist him in
performance. Or performance. Not really, no.
this? Okay.
If you can, this is for his accent and mannerisms and playing Devere Black.
Yeah, hold on. So I got debriefed on how to act as him, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So I'm going to take that into account with my rolling, right? I'm rolling performance or persuasion.
Performance or deception.
Okay, deception.
And it's not going to give you any advantage or anything like that. Because he explained it to you, you have the capability to do this in the first place. If Bastion had not helped you, then you wouldn't even have a clue what Devere sounds like. Now this is down to your skill and talent, and so.
Okay, well, I got a 20.
Ooh. She says, you just chuckle at her? That's all you say?
No, I chuckle and say, as someone who's built an empire, it's a great start. I have been very impressed with your work.
Well, thanks. As you say, it is just a start. And I think if we could get a little bit more, then we could build a little more. You know what I'm saying?
I do. What do you have in mind? Because I will only fund projects that I deem worthy. Of course.
Yeah.
I'm no bank.
Well, that's just it. We lack certain materials that you can find in other districts. We lack a lot of adamantine. That was way off.
You're having a fun time with this accent.
I am. I'm having a lot of trouble sticking to it.
You should have picked an easier affectation, my love.
So
when you're doing references rather than just trying to do improv.
Yes. Anyway, that's neither here nor there at the moment. So she says, adamantine, power cores, or even she says that her boys could definitely be trained to make adamantine or even make power cores if they were provided the adamantine ore or the elemental essences. She is also looking for ammo caches. So she's hoping for all of those. And she says
hopes of creating what, though? Because I have these resources, but what I want to know is what you're working on, because I recently heard that in that skirmish with the heavy brass, you lost a vehicle. And I'm very intrigued to hear more about the machinery you might be cooking up. I mean, you don't need power cores for nothing.
Of course not. They're for the vehicles. And if I had them, then I could expand. I really should just abandon this accent. I'm having trouble with certain things.
Yeah, it's okay. We forgive you, DM.
I mean, honestly,
Thanks.
you don't have to do it right. If you know
Welcome.
that you're saying something wrong, we don't care. Like, you can do the accent, and if you're having a hard time
Yeah,
with certain
we
words,
can do it.
just say them the normal way, and we are fine.
Maybe she's doing a bad accent. Maybe she just has a really inconsistent accent.
I think this could all be explained away by her being weak at the knees for Devere Black.
Oh boy.
Fair enough.
What? A simp?
So with these vehicles, don't you already have a fleet?
That's right. But they're all run with manpower. I could do more. With a power core, I could make more. With adamantine, I couldn't make more. And she reaches for the pocket that held the screwdriver that you removed. And you know, she, despite the fact that that screwdriver is gone, she seems to still like caress the pocket as if the screwdriver were still there.
Mm.
And she says, I could make so much more. And I see what you're getting at. You want to know what my goals are. My goals are no secret. The more territory we hold, the more we collect from this town, the more we can do with it. Resources. I'm talking about control. I'm talking about income and power. Quite simply, what is my goal? The sticks.
Control of the sticks.
Of course. Isn't that what we're all struggling for?
At this point, Devere Black turns to stare out the window instead of facing her with his arms behind his back. And he actually, he sits there and reminisces, says, that is a start. He turns quickly around and says, before I agree to anything else, or sorry, rather agree to this, just the sticks. What if the black market had the throne in mind?
She raises an eyebrow. You think you can take on the High Lords?
With some of your engineering? Possibly.
The Innovators Guild does afford the nobles quite a bit of power. We could rival that. There is a little issue. Reynald. He is also trying to rival the Innovators Guild. My understanding is you already make quite a few deals with Reynald. Would you be willing to offer me what you offer him? What exactly do you give the Crankhammers?
That is not up for discussion. That is for me to know. But I can tell you that if you show me the schematics of outfitting your vehicles with power cores and how it is done, then I might actually consider you taking over his responsibilities. And he will not be a problem.
Well, all right then. I think that's a great idea. Let's go right away. And she sits up from her chair and she says, "The garage is right this way." And she starts walking out the door.
As she starts walking, I say, "Wait," and I begin to I call her back in.
She stops very sharply, and one of the knives shoot out of one of the boots, and she jumps at the mechanism, and after being startled, she works it back into the boot, and she does so, hopping on one foot back over to you, and she says, what?
How hot is Ptolemy?
Uh,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
We're getting into it.
Oh no.
She looks, she is pretty, but her hair is like greasy, not like greasy, hasn't washed it, but like literally black oil and stuff in her hair. And so her hair is slicked with with oil and soot and things from things. She's got black marks on her face. All of that kind of serves to like cover it up. But looking closely, it looks like she's pretty good looking underneath.
Okay.
Oh no.
I hope this works. Okay.
Oh no.
He goes over to her desk and puts both hands on the desk like this as he leans over it. After scooting the chair away, and says, "There's also one more reason I've come here to discuss things with you."
Oh no.
You're about to do it.
You're about to screw the pooch. That's what you're about to do.
The knives are gonna go off again.
Perfect.
Please. Oh my
Our
gosh.
GM disappeared.
He
All
couldn't
right.
take it. He was like, "I'm done with this.
Yeah, he was like, nope.
My serious campaign's becoming a buffoon show."
Guys,
Oh no.
End of baboon.
Oh no.
guys, the streak continues for these rolls. So as she's trying to she's hopping back to the table and she's trying to work the knife back in, and she's hopping back to the table, and then you lean in and she goes to pull away slightly and she falls over. And so she completely falls over, and the both of the knives eject out of her boots, and she and she gets up onto the chair and sits down this time to work on them. And she's like, "Oh, sorry about that. You said there was one other thing," and she says that, but then she looks down and she's working on her shoe. It looks like she's fully paying attention, but she's not watching you.
Okay.
Boy,
I got the info from the Thieves Guild. By the way,
Wait. I'm sorry. Just really, really fast. There is a guard in the room, and she's right there. Would I be able to give Aurelius like a look with either of them noticing?
Yeah, the other guy who's there is just kind of standing there watching. He's not really a guard. He's there in the meeting with you guys. He just hasn't said anything.
Yeah. Okay, but if I gave Aurelius like a look, like a, oh my gosh, you. Mm-hmm.
You can try and pass him the look without being noticed.
Okay.
I kind of.
Okay, I just. Okay,
While this is happening,
I'm literally just lock eyes with Aurelius. That's all I'm doing. And I'm just psychically trying to telepath to him. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Or
No.
he's just shameless and he doesn't care.
Listen, if he's shameless and he doesn't care, that's one thing. She just needs to communicate her horror.
Well,
She's like,
Straight face, eye contact.
well, Aaron, your character is a Kalashtar, right?
yes.
Yeah, so literally he can telepathically communicate with all of you.
Well, yes, but I don't know. He would have to activate it, right?
Yeah, he would have to link with you, so he has to initiate it, but once you're linked up, you can talk back and forth indefinitely.
Listen, I don't need to talk to him. I just need him to know. Just look into my eyes, Aurelius. Look into my eyes and know the absolute, complete, and utter distress and horror you are causing her in this moment.
Okay, I want to hear it.
Okay,
So she's working the knives back into both of her boots. She's not looking at you, but she's waiting to hear what you say.
Yeah. First off, I want to point out one thing. I am waiting for that fire to start. I am just completely filibustering right now.
Yeah, we'll get back to that in just a second.
Okay, cool.
Well, just a second. Next week for our audience.
Oh crap. Okay, I want to do can I do a quick insight? I want to check how I think she feels about Black.
Okay. Go ahead and make the check. We'll read the results, and that's where we'll stop. Okay?
Yeah. It is it's a 20.
All right, lots of 20s pluses tonight. So then we'll go ahead and decipher that next time. Thank you so much for joining us for Toss the Dice. We'll see you next week.